So you want fast and smooth movement that makes landing bullets on you nearly impossible. But when you try and mimic moves from content creators, it looks stiff and almost like what you learned was completely useless. This is most likely because your settings are set for things like aiming and sensitivity instead of movement, which is why I've not only spent time analyzing what makes streamers move faster, but also why it works and what tips you should combine with to ensure you're the best in every lobby. Now, as we might know, I'm not a movement player. Y'all don't really see me do a lot of crazy flashy movement. I might YY spam a little bit. It's just a habit I do, possibly a bad habit. I would not recommend actually getting into that, but y'all know, y'all have seen sometimes where I can use that movement. Now, I'm not no noob when it comes to moving. I know how to move, but like I said, I studied these pro players and content creators and seen what was making them move so fast, and I actually learned a few things from it myself and combined it into my game. And bro, I'm telling you, these are complete game changers. You gotta try them out. All right, so the first setting I got for y'all today, this is something that I had to turn on recently. I literally just cut this on, bro, and this is a complete game changer, bro. So if you go to controller settings and then go down to movement, I don't know, I think this is on keyboard and mouse too. I might have a keyboard and mouse video coming soon, so stay tuned for that. But if you go over to movement on the controller settings or wherever you see this at and go down to sprint restore, this right here, bro, is a complete game changer. I think I had this on. I don't know if I accidentally selected it or not. It allows you to resume sprinting after various actions without being required to press, you know, the tactical sprint button again, because I know pressing that a lot will cause things to actually move very bad for you. It will cause your controller to start messing up. That's why when I tag sprint, look, when I tag sprint, I use my back pedal. I use this back pedal right here to tag sprint. So if you got back pedals or back buttons, instead of trying to always press this button down and tag sprint like that, I never press this button because it's gonna make it mess up every time. So instead of doing that, I tag sprint like that. But you won't even have to press that no more if you got sprint restore on. Now the next one actually will be slide maintain sprint. That's gonna be the next one. It's a 2-in-1. Slide maintain sprint. I actually just cut this on. You continue sprinting after performing a slide. I did not have this on, and I did not realize how much of a game changer it was. Literally, bro, you literally slide and then you get up and then start running again, bro. It's literally that simple. Look how smooth that is, bro. Instead of having to, like, you know, always you get up and start walking or like running normally if you got that setting on, or you get up and start walking, like, that's junk stupid, bro. When it comes to sensitivity, now I know that I said that sensitivity don't really matter, because it doesn't. It actually doesn't matter. As you can see, I play on a 1.05 sensitivity. This is almost like a default setting. The default is actually a 1.2, but I have it on a 1.05, which is lower than the average sensitivity, or the not average, but like the default settings. And you see, I can turn my camera. It's not like all flashy, like moving around like a lot, but like you don't need to have that, bro, unless you like going for clips and stuff. That's really not useful. Like, you don't need fast sensitivity to be moving fast. Like, so don't let nobody tell you that you gotta have your sensitivity maxed out 16:16, or you gotta have it like a certain weight, bro. Your sensitivity is all your preference. If you don't take none from this video, take this. Sensitivity is 100% preference. If you feel like you over aiming, lower the sensitivity. You aiming too slow, higher the sensitivity. It doesn't matter what your sensitivity is. It won't affect your movement, unless of course you like a 0.6 sensitivity. But why are you even doing that? Like, unless your aim that bad. If your aim is that bad, then you need to focus on that and not movement. Only focus on movement once you got the fundamentals of aiming down. The next thing you may notice is I play on edit button layout. My edit button layout is tactical flip. Now, you don't have to have flip. Flip is basically when I shoot with the bumpers as opposed to the triggers. A lot of pro players do this. A lot of content creators do this. Why? Because you shoot faster. I mentioned this in one of my most popular videos, which was going over how to always shoot first. And I use the bumpers to do that. So when I'm running, and now I press the two bumpers, it's gonna shoot. And I also got trigger stoppers too. I got trigger stoppers, but I don't use them really. Well, I use them, but like only for like thumbnails and stuff when I try and level the camera in theater mode. But triggers, like I just can't shoot the trigger no more unless I'm on an old COD, of course, like when I was playing Black Ops 1. But we're kind of getting off point a little bit here. Tactical, that's the most important thing. Tactical. Why is tactical good to play on? Because like I slide with this. I slide with the right joystick, basically the aiming button. I press this in the slide. Most of y'all punch with this and then slide with B. So y'all have to play claw like this and then keep going like that, or have to put back pedals on the back. Whole time you can just slide and crouch and drop shot with the joystick. Cause let's be honest, how often do you melee? I really don't find myself meleeing a lot unless I'm in an awkward situation where I have to melee around a bullet or some goofy stuff like that. In that case, I just switch the claw and then punch like so. But most times I don't melee. This is not like the old CODs where you had a knife and you just one shot, one kill, one shot, one melee them, or Advanced Warfare where you one punch them. It's not like those games, bro. It's basically different here, and you can't just shoot and then punch like you used to do it like back in Black Ops 4. Why? Because the movement got you moving all over the place. You gonna try and swing, he gonna slide back and bust you right in your, sorry, I'm getting out of character right there. So just keep in mind, I recommend you switch to tactical flipped or tactical button layout if you are interested in having the best movement possible. You don't even gotta take your hand off the joystick. It feels so much more smoother this way. You just feel, you start developing that arthritis when you slide in with B and stuff. It's not worth it, bro. Now this is another thing that I just recently fixed was the dead zone. My dead zones are different now as opposed to my previous 2 settings videos. A lot of things you're gonna see different on here, but my dead zone is something that's different. Now the left stick mostly, I haven't changed my right stick dead zone because I'm used to that, accustomed to that, and I can aim a lot better. But if we go down, right, if we go down to dead zone inputs, as you can see, I have a left stick minimum on 1. You put this on 1. Put this on 1 no matter what. Put it on 1. If you start feeling stick drift, then change it. Up it a little bit. But I recommend you put this on 1. And then the left stick maximum, put this on 60 to 70. 60 to 70, and it's gonna do good. I have mine on 65 to keep it right in the middle. And this way, like, it reaches the maximum input as quick as possible. You can put it on 60 to make it quicker. But yeah, that's how I have mine. That's how you should have yours. 60 to 70. Having it like this is gonna make it to where it's not gonna give you a lot of dead slides. I see people getting a dead slide a lot. If you had to remember it like this, remember it like this. Dead zone deletes dead slides every time, bro. The better your dead zone is, the less you can dead slide. I used to dead slide a lot, bro. I'm actually starting to get better with that, even without these new settings. But these new settings are definitely finna help me tremendously. Dead slide, that's where you can chain slide. You see how fast I slide? It's not really stiff, but you gotta time it correctly. Of course, you can't just like move and then try and move this way and then try and do it. It's not gonna be that quick now. It's really only that quick on like keyboard and mouse. Now something else I just changed. You want to go down to control, you want to go over to movement, and you want to go to slide dive behavior. I put it on slide only. I had it originally on tap to slide, so that way I would tap the slide and then I would hold down to basically dive and do all that good stuff. Or I see people also put on hybrid, which is where you tap only the slide and tap while holding sprint to input the dive. I really never use that, but slide only is something that's good. Cause diving, what do you need to dive for? Like in multiplayer, maybe in Warzone, but like multiplayer, yeah, multiplayer too fast paced. So like if somebody just over here standing right here, and then next thing you know, I'm trying to run out here, and I'm gonna dive backward. Like no, bro. Like I don't see the point of diving really. I'm gonna dive out like this. Like when you dive, oh, I can even dive because I take the setting off. I'm goofy as can be. But look, man, diving, I wouldn't say it's effective. I just don't think, I've never dived and had a good situation where I performed it well and dived perfectly and everything was fine. It just hasn't happened. So I recommend you put slide only because it's gonna make stuff feel a lot smoother. And the smoother it goes, the faster you move. Remember that. The smoother your settings are, the faster you will start to move. Another thing, when you dive, the aim assist gets stronger on whoever's aiming at you. So if I was to dive right now, the person who is shooting at me and aiming at me, their aim assist will get stronger as I'm diving. It makes my hitbox appear bigger too. So I recommend, once again, don't dive. Now the next thing we're gonna talk about is, well, first you wanna go over to controller, right? And in this first setting, sprint assist. Now this is something that we're gonna talk about a little bit here. I have it set to tactical sprint assist. Now I did not have it always set like this. I just had sprint assist on. Now when sprint assist is on, all I gotta do is basically move my joystick forward, my walking joystick, and I'm immediately start like running. I'm not sprinting full speed. Now if I want to sprint full speed, I'm gonna press my back button, which is gonna activate my tac sprint, and I'm gonna start moving like that. But the thing is, I always gotta press this button. It's kind of a habit now. It doesn't really mess up my controller because this controller was like $100 and it's not really cheap, even though my buttons still need to be fixed. But that is what happens when we have sprint assist on. Now I would not recommend cutting this off. Do not cut sprint assist off ever. It should be on or on tactical sprint. Now I'm gonna show y'all how to play with both of them. If it's on, right, the reason why you would want to have it on and not just have it full is because look, when you tac sprint, you will aim, your sprint to fire will be slower. Look at that. Sometimes you might notice in my gameplay, I start running like this. I start running around the map like this. And then when I pull back, look how quick it is. You see how quick I shoot? Meanwhile, I do this and do the same technique. It just takes a long time for it to come down. So it's just, I mean, you could just use the one perk slipstream, I think they call it, where you don't even tac sprint to make it feel like Cold War a little bit. could use that and see how that goes. But when I turn tactical sprint assist on, now you run full speed. All I gotta do is move forward and then start tac sprint. I don't even gotta press the button. I just move forward and then start tac sprint just like that. But why would you want this? You would want this because it's gonna make it to where you have less dead slides. Once again, bro, if you use all the settings on this list, you will have less dead slides. Look, it's like, because it's instant momentum. It instantly makes you run as fast as possible instead of having to run a little bit and then you run fast. It makes you run as fast as possible. Now you also want to click X and then put sprint delay on 0. I hope most of y'all know that. And sprint delay, sprint assist, sideways, backwards, all that stuff. Put it on 0. That way it can be as fast as possible once again. But what do you do? Like how are you going to approach a gunfight when you got tac sprint on and then take a minute for your thing to come down, your gun to come down for you to shoot? So if I'm running this way, somebody just slide out and I try and shoot, he gonna beam me. First of all, he broke my camera. He landed the first 3 bullets. By the time I'm shooting, I land 1 bullet and I'm dead. So how would I approach that? So this is what you do right here, bro. So say I'm running up right here. You always want to be running around and thinking of sliding laterally. That always should become a habit, to slide laterally. So that way the second you see anybody pop up. So if I'm running here and somebody pops up right here, I'm running full speed and they pop up, I slide sideways. I slide in a lateral direction sideways. But don't slide cancel. Don't do this and slide cancel. You want to do a long slide when you do this. Run forward, slide sideways. That's kind of diagonal, but you gotta kind of tilt it at a 90-degree angle. So I'm running sideways. You want to go into that sideways run. Remember, there's no sprint delay. You have maximum tac sprint too. So you run it and then you slide sideways. When you slide sideways, it's gonna mess up their aim. They aim it. They ain't expecting you to slide sideways. They expecting, okay, I'm gonna just gun him. I don't even gotta move my thing this much because his gun down. I ain't gotta move my thing. I ain't gotta move my my joystick. I just shoot straight. Next thing you know, you over here. And when you slide, while you slide, you need to be shooting at them too. So I'm running, slide sideways, and while I'm sliding, shoot. Don't do the full slide and then shoot. You wanna run and then shoot at the same time while you slide, and that's gonna be so effective. So this is how it would look. You want to be pressing that as quick as possible. If that's another thing, if you don't take much from this video, take that from this video. If you turn on tactical sprint assist, that's if you turn on. I feel like this is completely optional, that one. It depends on what you want to do. If you want to be a full movement player, then I recommend cutting it on so that way you can run like this and then just adapt to that sliding sideways. Adapt to that. That's something I don't see enough. But now if you do stay with the normal setting of just running with sprint assist, just running normally without tac sprinting, you want to have this activated right here. Tac sprint activation, single tap. I see so many people on double tap. Single tap sprint. Now this is gonna make it to where you're in the running. You're like say if I was running normally right now without raising my gun up, and then that's when I just gotta press the tac sprint button 1 time, and then I'm gonna instantly start tac sprint. That's how I had it before. I have it like this. And I'm telling you right now, bro, that's something that's gonna help a lot. Don't be double tapping. That's definitely how you're gonna mess up your controller. But if y'all interested in seeing any of my other movement settings, they right here on the screen. This is what I got for my movement, mantle, cancel, reload. I don't have none of that on. Movement advanced settings, like I just showed y'all. This is how all my settings look. Controller settings, dead zones, screenshot it, send it to your partner, do whatever. And that's basically all it is when it comes to my movement settings. But anyways, if you're interested in seeing more videos like this, more settings videos, I can make aiming settings videos, the best aiming settings and all types of stuff. I can make more. Trust me. So if you're interested in seeing more Black Ops 6 content like this, whether that be settings video, that be a tips and tricks, a guide, a map guide, a ranked guide, anything of that sort, anything to help you improve at Call of Duty, if you're interested in that, then subscribe to this channel. I post every single day, and I also live stream sometimes. So you can come in there and ask me anything you need, and then when you get on there, I'll answer your questions personally. But if you want to actually talk to me one-on-one in your spare time and take your skill to the maximum level and learn everything there possibly is to learn when it comes to playing Call of Duty and becoming the best player, if you want to become a pro player, if you just want to become a pub stomper, you want to drop nukes, you want to drop tryhards off, anything of that sort, you can do all of this without reverse boosting. If you want to do anything like that, then go subscribe to my Patreon, link in the description below, also in the comment section below. Please sign up for it. I promise you it'll be the best thing ever you would do. I brought people back to this game. I literally had a comment today on YouTube saying, bro, I was thinking about quitting this game. I wasn't doing well, and you brought me back to this game. And that's just off YouTube. Imagine what's going on that Patreon over there. So go subscribe if you really want to start having fun again. Or if you die a lot in Call of Duty and you find yourself easy to get killed or just easy to die, and you want to figure out exactly what may be causing that and how you can avoid it, then click on this video right here.